Linear Perspective by Jenica McGill and Nick Taylor. Filippo Brunelleschi. He was an architect and sculptor in Florence. He is said to have rediscovered linear perspective. He created two perspective panels to show depth. He also understood the concept of a single vanishing point. Projective geometry. The idea of linear perspective comes from projective geometry. Projective geometry is also known as descriptive geometry. The duality theorem comes from descriptive geometry. This theorem stated that there is duality between Pascal's theorem and Brion-Kahn's theorem. Usually perspective geometry comes in pairs, which is also helpful within the duality theorem. Types of pairs are the following: point and a line. Axioms or rules of projective geometry. Number 1. If A and B are distinct points on a plane, there is at least one line containing both A and B. Number 2. If A and B are distinct points on a plane, there is not more than one line containing both A and B. Number 3. Any two lines in a plane have at least one point of the plane, which may be the point at infinity, in common. Number 4. There is at least one line on a plane. Number 5. Every line contains at least 3 points of the plane. Number 6. All the points of the plane do not belong to the same line. Linear perspective examples. While we were in Florence, there were many examples of linear perspective within the artwork. Most of these examples were on flat surfaces. The use of the vanishing point is what makes the surfaces look three-dimensional. For example, this picture on a ceiling that was completely flat. This dome in the center is using the vanishing point in order to create a circular design in the center. This helps make this flat ceiling have a dome look. This image was of a ceiling in Florence. This ceiling had some curve to it, but not nearly as much as you see in this image. This small person has a solid background color that helps the fact that he stands out within the painting. The middle point of this painting has a solid background color that helps make it stand out and help give it this ceiling a curve. Both of these paintings are from the Uffizi Museum in Florence. You can see the depth within the images and how they look three-dimensional. They use vanishing points to make this man in the background in the painting to the left look like he is farther back than the other two. The painting on the right also uses three-dimensional, and the dome in the background uses vanishing points to make it appear not flat. These images are from a painting and a wooden chest in the Uffizi Museum. Both of these surfaces are completely flat. This one on the left again uses vanishing points, and this chest has an excellent example of creating a three-dimensional look down some buildings. This artist used different types of linear perspective in order to have two separate events happening at the same time. This is the Duomo in Florence, Italy. It is one of the most famous works of Brunelleschi. For example, of linear perspective, this dome was flat, but looked like it had some curve due to the way it was painted. This area of the Duomo really shows how there is a whole other scene within the beauty of the architecture. And if you look closely, you can see that he also uses vanishing points to give the characters in this image depth. And all over the Duomo there are paintings that create the idea of tiles on the surface. And these are our references.